Good day, everybody. My name is Nard Lester Kalang, and from BSed English 3A, and this is my report for EM 18, Lesson 8 from Monolingual to Multilingual language programs and policies across Asian countries, specifically the country of Thailand and Singapore. All right, so first is the country of Thailand. All right, uh, the unlike the rest of the countries in ASEAN that mentioned prior session by my other groupmates, Thailand has not been colonized by any country. Because of this, the country's educational system remained monolingual by culture. Uh, but in the early 1820s, the English language was only taught to royalties and diplomats for globalization or internalization or exports or for lawmaking. But in the year 1891, the schools realized that learning the language is vital since books are also written in English. So, since due to global education, they're trying to export uh, learnings or lessons from English. All right. So, they have recognized that it is vital to learn the language since the book they're using for global education is English. Next. So, in the following years, the first compulsory policy made its way, and the English subject was then mandated to be taught in grade 5. In the mainstream schools, English is restricted to specific English language lessons taught for 1 hour a week. This is before, and in grades 1 to 3, 2 hours a week. In grades 4 to 6, and 3 hours a week in average on the secondary schools. So they have specific hours or sessions during this English language lessons. But for nearly 50 years, English has been longest running foreign language taught in Thailand. Despite this, the level of English proficiency of the general population is relatively low, including both teachers and students. Next comes National Education Act 1991. This act was to set foot and reform Thailand education. Their key objective is to promote knowledge and skills in science and mathematics while giving emphasis on how to use Thai language. So they just simply botched the use of English language since it's not effective, but they have integrated science and mathematics with the use of their own language. Okay. Because of the demands of the community, more international schools opened and offered curriculum emphasizing English. To wrap it up, English language is Thailand's most introduced in urban areas, while in rural areas are limited. So Thai people do not use this foreign language in daily basis, but is considered as necessity for a career, opportunity seekers, educational purposes, and communication outside the country. So, and high emphasis also is given to teaching foreign language, particularly in English, to develop efficiency communication among Thai students by integrating the English language in every educational level. This is according to the Ministry of Education of Thailand in 2010. In the new curriculum, the English will be a compulsory foreign language subject starting from level 1 in primary education in uh, uh, when in the 6 years of age. So this is one of the 8 compulsory strands in students that will have to take in the core elective courses. It is to be divided in 4 levels: the preparatory level, the level 1, the beginning level, the 2, and then which are all in primary education, the level 3 expanding level, the lower secondary education. We can consider it junior high school here in our own school system, and the level 4 expanding level, the upper secondary or the senior high. In spite of exerting much efforts, developing the English language has still been unsuccessful in Thailand. So, as of now, it's not entirely being considered. The country of Thailand is not entirely considered to be a multilingual country, but instead it is a monolingual country. Though majority or some of its citizens learn and able to communicate the language, English language and other language, but it's not use in part of our daily lives. So, in the country as a whole, it's not multilingual country, but a monolingual country. Okay, next. All right. So next, we're going to tackle about the country Singapore. So the country Singapore is a bilingual country. Aims to ensure that Singaporean citizens learn English in addition to their mother tongue. So it's just like Philippines. They consider it their major language, or for us in the Philippines, it's considered to be our second language. As for mother tongue, some Chinese and Indians citizens are responsible locally to teach their young ones. So it's being taught uh, during the toddler age or the early age of a child. Figures spanning the years 2000 2005 shows that the percentage of respondents indicating that English is their home language has increased across the board. So while the percentage of those indicating that Tamil, Malay, or Chinese dialect is their home language has decreased. So in the entire country, although this particular country is country's citizens are composed of Tamil or Malaysian or Chinese or Indian, but majority of them speaks English. Okay, the percentage of ethnic Chinese indicating that Mandarin is their home language increased slightly over this period of 45.1% to 42.2%, according to 2011. Singaporeans are exposed early to English language as they believe that this will give them more advantage. Right. So in learning and education, after 6 years of study the language, students take from the primary school leaving exams as eligibility test to secondary level. So I guess that was the Singapore, and it is definitely a multilingual multilingual country. And I guess that's all. I hope you enjoy. You do have a great